Look, are you absolutely exhausted from sorting through hundreds of mediocre resumes just to end up settling for the least bad candidate of the bunch? Have you ever wondered why elite companies like Cursor are scooping up the absolute top 1% of talent while your team is stuck fighting over the leftovers?
Well, let's dive right into this. Today, we are executing a hardcore breakdown of an exact recruiting playbook. We're extracting the proven methods of Adam Ward, the head of talent at Cursor, who previously scaled elite teams at powerhouses like Facebook and Pinterest. We're going to show you exactly how to treat every single hire like a high-stakes executive search. No fluff, no generic advice, just the hardcore facts and tactics you need to build a truly talent-dense team.
All right, Section 1, Escaping the Funnel of Doom.
We've got to start by completely dismantling what Adam calls the funnel of doom. It's the default recruiting method that almost every company uses. And honestly, it treats human beings like static widgets in a sales pipeline. Just think about the harsh math here. If you reach out to 100 people and get a 20% reply rate, you aren't getting the top 20%. You're literally just getting the 20 people you caught on a bad day at their current job. That forces you to weed them out and hire the remainder, which naturally drags your team's average down. Instead, Adam argues that you must objectively identify the absolute top 50 people in the world for your role and pour all of your energy solely into activating them. You have to totally abandon remainder-based hiring.
Moving on to Section 2, Redefining the Top 1%. So to actually find those exact top 50 targets, you first have to nail the scoping phase. You need to objectively define what that top 1% actually looks like before you speak to a single candidate. It's absolutely crucial that you stack rank specific skills and experiences and define exact success metrics. And here is an ironclad rule you have to follow. Completely ignore resume logos in previous companies. Seriously, piggybacking on another company's definition of great is a guaranteed way to make a mismatched hire. Your product is different, your company is different, and copying someone else's process just means you're inheriting their flaws.
Which brings us to Section 3, Mapping Top Talent. Once your objective scoping is dialed in, it's time for market mapping to extract the actual names of your top 50 targets. And this is where most hiring managers completely drop the ball. Whatever you do, do not ask your network, hey, who's the best engineer you know? That is literally the worst question you can ask. You have to ask highly specific questions mapped to your required skills. Ask things like, who stands out as being the most collaborative with designers? Or, who can translate a framework into a product better than anyone you've ever seen? That is how you cut through the noise and get real signal.
Let's look at how this builds into an extraction engine. Fair warning, this is incredibly time-intensive. First, query your trusted networks using those highly specific trait questions. Second, run exact Boolean or AI searches across maybe 100 companies that you know value those exact same characteristics. Finally, and this is the real heavy lifting, conduct one-on-one network extraction sessions with your team every other week for 6 straight weeks. You sit down, pull names from their networks, and hold them accountable for reaching out.
Next up, Section 4, Relentless Pursuit and Work Trials.
With your highly curated list of 50 targets secured, you transition right into the assessment phase. You are no longer filtering, you are hunting. But to pull this off, your recruiters need to be running at exactly 90 to 110% capacity. Adam points out that recruiters thrive on this specific adrenaline rush edge. Outside of this exact bandwidth, honestly, they're kind of terrible. If they have half a workload, they're useless. If they're way over 110%, they're completely overwhelmed. You have to keep them right in this pocket.
Now, when you first engage these targets, you do not ask for an interview. No way. You invite them for a low-pressure coffee or an office visit to create a home game advantage. Introduce them to specific team members who share their exact interests. You're basically planting seeds here. You might wait weeks, months, or even years until the timing is finally right. But remember, out-carrying the competition is totally free, and it is a massive unfair advantage.
When they are finally ready to engage, the assessment has to be rigorous. Research shows that work samples are the absolute highest predictor of success. Companies that skip work trials see their hiring signal just tank. You want a two-way, curated experience consisting of side-by-side real work with the team, broken up by highly curated meals. And to reduce friction for these elite candidates, teams are even willing to schedule these trials on Saturdays so the candidate doesn't have to sacrifice their standard work week.
All right, Section 5, Team Sport Closing.
When you're ready to make an offer, the final step is treating the close as a high-intensity team sport. And honestly, closing doesn't start at the offer stage. It starts at the very beginning by tracking their intrinsic motivators. The entire company rallies behind this. You create a dedicated Slack channel for every single candidate. You even hold 10-minute daily stand-ups for high-profile targets just to align on strategy. The goal here is to mitigate wild compensation battles by focusing strictly on care, team fit, and intrinsic value rather than just throwing a bunch of money at them.
Winning here comes down to extreme intentionality. Here's a perfect example. The Cursor team once discovered a candidate went to a performing arts high school. So they went out, found a specialty store in New York City, and bought them a unique, highly personalized $200 Turkish stringed instrument and presented it right at the offer dinner. That tailored, hyper-personal touch, that is exactly how you win hearts and minds over massive cash offers from your competitors.
And because the current market is absolutely ruthless, pre-boarding is critical to stop candidates from reneging on accepted offers. The exact second they accept, you immediately host community dinners with the team and other newly accepted candidates. Then, you ship their company laptop immediately. This visually and physically proves to them that they've joined the team, locking them in during that vulnerable window before their official start date.
Finally, Section 6, Hardcore Review and Call to Action.
Let's rapidly review the hardcore facts and metrics we just extracted from this playbook. 1. Abandon the 100 reach out to 20 reply funnel of doom. 2. Target the exact top 50 individuals globally. 3. Run your strategic recruiters at an optimal 90 to 110% capacity. And 4. Extract your team networks through one-on-one sessions every 2 weeks for 6 solid weeks.
If you only remember one underlying piece of logic from today's explainer, make it today's takeaway. The atomic unit of hiring is the individual person, not the job spec. You literally custom build the process around the human.
Now here is today's hardcore debate. Forcing highly sought-after candidates to do real work on Saturdays? Do you think this is a genius filtering design to find the most dedicated talent? Or is it a massive pitfall that turns the best people away? What are your reasons?
Drop your answer in the comments below right now, and our cartoon bot will immediately send you the complete recruiting framework mind map so you can execute this exact playbook yourself. See you in the comments.